Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Walking Dead series by Diverged. I'm your host, Nicole.
I'm Gary.
And today we're talking about The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 21, entitled Diverged. We did not do an instant cast Sunday night.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'm not going to say it wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it to us.
I'm going to say it wasn't worth it. This episode was trash. And I've seen some episodes of The Walking Dead where I'm like, I can never watch that episode again. Like, it was not for me. It was boring. But this episode, it was almost insulting. That's how bad it was, in my opinion. I guess we're just going to start off. Like, it was so bad. It was just like, did they just put this shit together and expect us to be entertained? Like, it's almost as if they didn't care we were entertained or not. It was like someone just didn't even try. We didn't watch this episode second time. We have it on now while we're potting just so we can have some reference. But I was like, I refuse for my own mental health to watch this episode again and take notes. It wasn't going to happen.
It was a filler. It was definitely a filler.
They were better off like reposting an episode from like season 5 and just saying, y'all, here's this. Like, I don't know. They could have done anything but what they did. And really, they shot themselves in the foot because they're supposed to be having a Daryl and Carol show.
And I think that's what this was for.
Well, this made me never want to even give that show a chance. Like, I'm like, and we know Daryl can be entertaining. We know Carol can give us some stuff. But I don't even know really what to say. Like, I was just even telling Gary right now, I'm like, I don't even know how long this podcast will be because I really don't have shit to say about the show. Like, the episode was that bad. All I can say, it was bad. I don't want to dive into anything they were doing and bullshit like that. It was just bad.
Well, I'm on the opposite end of the fence. I don't think this episode was bad. I don't think it was needed. One thing that The Walking Dead is doing, and we've seen this as recent, that it's like a whole bunch of different movies going on. And when you turn it on, you want to get back to where you were. Like, I want to get back to where Prince is. Or, I could even do a Pastor Gabriel. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's taking us all over the place. It's not a consistent storyline. And that's what's kind of throwing me off this season. And I think it's been throwing me off like past seasons, that the storyline hasn't been consistent how it was in the beginning. So now we could be here, we could be there. I mean, these are different shows we're watching.
Yeah, it feels like it. And then even them keeping like 1 to 2 characters, like, you cheapos, you guys only trying to have 1 to 2 people on the show. We know it's about the money. And
well, it could be about more than the money. Well, I mean, it's a pandemic.
Well, then they shouldn't have made it. Like, fuck it. Y'all scared that word. You shouldn't have made the episode. It was not, we could have did without. And not to mention, like you just said about the other princess and all the other locations, it's something that Game of Thrones used to do really well. Like, you would be in several areas. You can see, dang, I forgot all the cities in Game of Thrones. But, you can be with the Boltons one week. You can be with the Starks the next.
Right.
Not
but
the one week.
It worked for Game of Thrones.
Excuse me.
It worked for them because every episode was amazing.
Yes.
Every episode was you was on the edge of your seat. You couldn't wait to see. Even when you were watching one, like, oh, this is dope, but I wonder what's going on over here.
But, what I meant is that you can be in 3 locations in one episode. You can see Daenerys, you can see Starks, and you can see the Cersei people or whatever in one episode. They gave us 3 different locations in an episode.
They could do it in one episode, but Game of Thrones, for the most part, it took place with one group of people. Like, sometimes you didn't see what was going on here. Sometimes but like I said, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean,
they mixed it up.
A lot of times they did give you what's going on here, there, and other place.
Yeah. They would mix it up. Sometimes you can be in 3 locations, but even when you only got the Starks, it was entertaining.
But when it got to the meat of something in one particular area, then that's what they focused on the next episode.
Right.
And this right here, I mean, there's more exciting shit going on in the world than, Daryl's problem, Carol's problem. This was too much like real life to me.
It was just, maybe that's why it was so boring.
Yeah,
it was just,
I don't want to watch TV for real life.
Right.
This was too much like real life. Like, oh man, my bike broke, my car broke down. How I'm going to fix this? Or, electricity's out. I mean, I don't want to feel that pain. I don't want to know what's going on in real life. I got to have that here.
It was just horrible. And then it's like, when did Alexandria get townhouses. Like, I swear these townhouses all of a sudden popped up. For the longest time, I could have sworn it was single family residence, and then now all of a sudden there's some townhouses. They just like threw.
There's always been townhouses.
It's been some townhouses.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But let's get into it.
All right. I mean, go ahead, because I really don't have shit to say.
All right. Well, let's talk about Daryl's journey. Get on that. All right. We see Daryl. You know what? I didn't understand why they split up in the first place. Was it about the argument the last time we seen him?
He was just as bored with her as we were. Like, you go one way, we gonna go to the same spot, but we gonna go different ways. You take road A, I'm gonna take road B, just so we can split. I really don't know why they split up.
Yeah, but it seems like they needed time apart, but did he take the long route? And I think that's what I missed. I missed what was the split up for in the first place if they were going to the same area. And it seems like Daryl had a bike, Carol was on foot, but Carol got there so much quicker. And I understand the bike broke down, but he was on bike for a good little minute before it broke down. Yeah. So I just want to know, and like I said, I didn't catch it. I didn't catch what the split was about, but I'm just kind of probably assuming this from the last episode where they got into the argument, or not really argument, but disagreement, and Daryl told her, like, hey, some of this stuff is on you. Well, all this stuff is on you. So I'm just thinking, are they upset? But then going into like Daryl's journey, I mean, we see him go, some real life shit happen. One of the little tubes or whatever on his bike kind of split. I think that was like the gas tube or something. Maybe oil, possibly. I mean, we see some real life shit happen. And one thing that I'm starting not to like about The Walking Dead is the convenience of things. Like, this happened, and now all of a sudden the walker for that convenience come along. Like, not a mechanic walker come along. It's like at certain times, they just bring so much convenience into the episode. Like, if this is going on, now you see the combat walker. Now you see, but in the ordinary time, these just walkers just walking, no clothes or the clothes tore down. Right. But anytime something happened, it's a convenient walker that comes along. Mailman walker, right. Police walker, maintenance walker. And I'm tired of that.
Yeah, I mean, Daryl finding the walkers, the military walkers, that was a little too convenient. I'm surprised. Actually, I thought they were going to take it a different route. I thought, like, they were going to explode or a grenade was going to happen or something, you know, since they were military walkers. I was assuming they were going to find a grenade of some sort, but he didn't. But he did find some supplies. I don't know if those are food or what, or if there was even a weapon on them.
Yes, so, it seems like he found food and a weapon on a couple.
So we'll have to see if he brings that to the community or if that's like, yo, I went out there and found this shit. This is mine.
Yeah, I went through hell for this right here.
Right.
And another thing, when he found the walker, I think it was the walker with a knife on him. You know, it was like all the walkers was up on him close. And he make it through there, fall down the hill. And you see no walker come for a minute. Like, once he fell down the hill, he was just invisible or something.
He had time to fight a walker and everything before the walker slowly started paying him. Like, they should have been coming down that hill falling.
Yeah.
You know?
So do you think Daryl is on that Morgan tip right now?
I think, well, he might be tired and not have that much energy. So he's like, I don't feel like killing them. Because you mentioned when we were watching how it was different. It was showing a difference of how Carol treated the walkers versus how Daryl treated the walkers. How she saw the walkers in the field, which I was thinking, I could have sworn it was in Alexandria when these walkers just were inside the community.
No, it was out.
It was out? Okay.
Yeah, she went looking for food.
Okay. So she killed all the walkers, like fought them all and was like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. Whereas Daryl saw the walkers and was like, okay, let me see how I can skate by y'all. Like, I don't even want to waste my energy on you.
Yeah, it's showing how they just handling things, handling their I guess their dispute differently, their emotions differently.
Right.
Like, Carol is very emotional right now, and Daryl's the typical man. Like, let me get here. You know, he with other shit going on, he don't have time to think about the little disagreement or fight he had with Carol. When there's a lot of stuff going on with Carol, but it seems like their fight is all she could think about. And maybe she's kind of projecting it on herself. She's not mad at, you know, Daryl. Maybe she's mad at herself right now. Like, okay, he's right. A lot of this stuff is my fault. If I wouldn't have did this, this would have happened. If I wouldn't have went here, this wouldn't happen.
Right.
So it's kind of showing a difference, and I'm gonna make it like a man and woman thing. Like I was talking to Nicole, we were watching another show, and I said that during a breakup, and this is everybody knows this. In the beginning, the man is just okay. He's cool. He's living life. And the woman sitting there crying, oh, I can't believe he did this to me. You know, it's a sad situation. And as time go, the week go, it's just kind of going reverse. Now you see the man getting upset. Now he's crying. And now the woman she's starting to live life. She's happy now. So, you know, it's just showing that balance of emotion between the both of them. Although I don't think Daryl really has time to concentrate on their issues because it is dark. He got places to be. He don't know if he's going to get a piece for his bike. And also another thing, convenience. Not only the walkers, now we see 3 cars next to each other. You know, I need this tube, I need this piece, and now boom, here we go. Now we have 2 cars in a truck, like right here in the distance, right next to each other, and one of them may have my piece.
I don't really have a problem with that because we always see the cars lined up. We just saw cars a few episodes ago with Aaron and Morgan when they were checking all. I mean, there's cars all around the road. Yeah. Let's get to Carol. What did you think about her journey this episode, looking for scraps to make some soup that never got made and letting the dog just act amok, and then also
that's what I was saying, that this episode was more about her emotions right now, how she's feeling about her and the Daryl split. She's probably thinking the friendship is over. I think everything else is a filler. She's trying to stay busy. Well, she's trying to be needed right now.
Right.
You see, Jerry was saying that, hey, I'm hungry, which, I mean, he never got the food, so I don't know. Jerry is working off of E. Yeah. He has nothing in the tank. But, I mean, you see that, you know, that food that fell down on the floor? Mm-hmm. I mean, you better get some water or something, rinse that off.
Yeah, when that food fell, I was like, girl, you better rinse that off. Like, now's not the time. You know what? You're
in a zombie apocalypse. You don't even have to rinse it off. Right. You better just throw that back in the pot and cook it.
Right.
So it was crazy how it fell, and now, I got to start over. Let me go out here to the field and look at, again, find some like she found some weed or something, some shit that nobody would normally eat. And then, you know, you add a rat to the mix.
Yeah, were they going to try to eat that rat?
I don't think so. I think she was trying to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
I think Jerry was saying that it got into some food, messed up some food they had already in there. So, I mean, we can see that they're really short of supplies in Alexandria, that things are getting bad. And I guess that's where the Pastor Gabriel, that storyline over there come into play, because they're really out there looking, trying to bring stuff back to the community.
Right.
And we see the community looks like it looks bad right now. I remember at one point when what was those? It wasn't the Whispers. It was another group that was going in there and tagging the place when Alexandria just looked like the projects.
It's probably the Saviors.
It wasn't the Saviors.
Oh, the Wolves?
It could have been the Wolves. Could have been the Wolves, where it just looked crazy in Alexandria. You know, they had graffiti all over the place, all this. Now Alexandria look worse now.
Well, let's get to some listener letters, because Mike and Chantel both wrote in, and I think they may be able to help add to this conversation. So Mike here, he did give us his Twitter handle. He does not use it that often, and he did not find my email, so who knows? Who knows? I thought I sent it though. But his Twitter handle is Mike NIZ 4. So Mike NIZ 4. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
And then he wrote an episode. I wrote an episode. I wish he wrote an episode. He wrote a letter. It goes, Dear Gary Nicole, damn, this episode was a banger. Definitely in my top 5 all-time Walking Dead episodes. Okay, I'm lying. This was straight trash. That's one of those, they had me in the first half. That's one of those. I was looking at him sideways. Okay. It literally went nowhere. We started with tension between Carol and Daryl, and we ended with the same tension. We already know they're having problems. That was established in the Find Me episode. Okay, I'm going to do my best not to spit hate on this entire letter, but it's going to be tough. Yeah. I mean, that's where I'm at. I guess what we're supposed to take away is that Carol is feeling responsible for the state of our community, even though she barely seems to feel bad at all. She's attempting to fix whatever she can and provide some food for the people she hurt, yet goes bananas over a rat and pretty much wrecks the garage. I think that was Daryl's garage too. Did you guys watch Breaking Bad? This gave me some Breaking Bad vibes because it reminded me of the episode where Walter White is obsessed with killing a fly in his meth lab. Except that was done well and this was done poorly. Yeah,
you're right.
Bad. Yeah. And he continues. I guess the pocket knife is supposed to be significant, but I struggle to find any meaning in it. My guess best is that we, the viewers, are supposed to feel like Carol and Daryl need to stop fixing bikes and solar panels and start fixing their relationship. I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. Why was Daryl limping? Did the car come down on his leg or something? I'm missing something there.
I think he was limping because he fell. Oh, no, he fell afterwards.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, maybe Daryl's not used to walking anymore.
Yeah.
He's on a bike so much.
I did enjoy watching a Walker shuffle around in the car, though. Why doesn't anyone seem concerned about the Reapers? We know they're out there and very good at hiding. Oh, well, I guess. Yeah, I think they introduced the Reapers, and those are going to be the villains for season 11. And because next week this upcoming week is a Negan episode.
And I don't know if Maggie told them that this is the Reaper. Like the guy that was the military guy or the the guy that Mike called out a couple episodes ago. Maggie never confirmed that, hey, this right here is a part of that group. She told him about a group, but that's why I said that Maggie should have said some more. She should have said like, hey, yeah, he's a part of it and there's more out there like him. Because now, I mean, basically we're just guessing.
Well, they definitely know there's more out there. They weren't running from one person.
But I know there's Reapers out there, but I'm saying that was he a part of it? They never established that.
Yeah. I also call bullshit on Daryl struggling to put down one walker as much as he did. Right. Carol was killing walkers like it was nothing. Almost seemed like a form of therapy for her. Yet Big Bad Daryl had all kinds of trouble. I guess his leg being hurt really slows him down. I'm really sorry to come off so negative this week. Hopefully y'all can shine some different light on this for me. Man, I just couldn't find much to love with this episode. Can't wait to hear you break this one down. Looks like we get a Negan backstory next week. I'm excited for that, Mike.
Mike, you and Nicole would have had a ball watching this with all that negativity.
I know Gary's over here like, you gotta say some more than that. I'm like, I ain't got shit to say about this episode. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat what this episode was. It was just not. And I'm usually one of those people, I'm not bashing Walking Dead every week. I can usually find good in an episode. I found good in a few episodes ago where it wasn't good, but I found some good in it. But this one, I just, not at all. Thanks for writing in, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, so we have an email today from Chantel. She goes, hey, Nicole and Gary. For the first time ever, I think, I can honestly say that this episode was unnecessary and was a waste of time. While I was able to think back on it and find lovely literary illusions, philosophical moments, and beautiful nuanced performances, all in all, we could have done without this one. Well, you done found more than what I found. So.
Yeah, this was definitely, like we said, a filler.
Here's what I've got, again, in bullet point format. No, this is good. I'm sorry, I'm busy writing season 11 right now. And didn't have time to really organize my thoughts. Kidding. Or am I? She's funny. Okay, she has a little. Okay, let me just go to the bullets. I thought that the Carol Daryl dog scene in the woods was beautifully shot. I'm not a nature person, but the way the camera caught the light, especially the light when they reached the fork in the road, was really gorgeous. Carol and Daryl's no, because I was looking, I'm like, man, you know how people can find like something good in everything. Like, and I'm like, I guess Chantel, like, you know, you found the shot beautiful. So I was like, you know what? She found it beautiful. Let me let her have it. I guess I didn't find anything. Yeah, I guess sometimes if it's not good, I just can't see any good in it. But okay. Carol and Daryl's diverging paths in the woods were a bit on the nose, but the device wasn't annoying. It reminded me of Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, with Daryl presumably taking the road less traveled and Carol taking the road home. Thinking about this after the fact, I wondered why they didn't do more of a what-if storyline, kind of like Michonne's episode. If they made different decisions in the past, essentially taking different roads, would Alexandria still be in the state it is now? What if Carol stayed in Alexandria instead of running away and ended up being part of Negan's lineup? What if she never came back after Rick banished her from the prison? What if Daryl hadn't lashed out the night of the lineup?
That would have been a dope episode.
Yeah, I mean, Chantel, if you're not writing episodes, you need to be. All of these are like so much better ideas. What if he hadn't tried to lure Rick away the day Rick blew up the bridge? Both of these characters have faced a variety of forks in the road. The paths they chose led them to this point, and this point isn't good. I think that doing alternate universe style snippets would have been a cool way to play with the whole diverging paths theme.
It would have.
Yeah, definitely.
It would make more sense.
I mean, right now I'm already like, oh, that would have been exciting to see. Like, I'm excited again. More interesting than what we got, at least. All right. She goes, it was interesting to see Carol in the position of not knowing where she fit in or what she should be doing. In the past, she has always easily slipped into whatever character she needed to slip into. Preemptive problem solver at the prison, burning Karen and David. Fierce warrior, rescuer at Terminus. Fake, gentle den mother when they first arrived at Alexandria. Fierce warrior protector when the wolves came. Nurturing mother to Henry, and so on.
And when she didn't have a person to fit into, that's when she left.
Yeah.
Because she ran away a couple of times.
It was always an instant transformation. Upon arriving to Alexandria, she was awkward and unsure. And is it just me, or does she seem a little bit nuts, like more nuts than usual?
I think Carol is Carol right now. Carol is caroling. She's definitely being herself. We're just seeing the breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know. Carol was just... I don't feel like she was... Maybe she was herself. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is Carol. Because all I thought, like, when the dog tripped over... I think he made a mess of the food at first, right? And then later she brings him back again in that same room. And I think maybe I'm tripping, but it was just like, why did you bring the dog back out again in that little space when she was getting the rat? This time, I believe. Or is that when he spilled the food? No, he spilled the food the first time.
Because he was chasing a rat.
Yes. But then she brought him back out later on, and then she chased the rat, and all I kept thinking was that food's going to fall again. Is it going to get spilled again? I don't know. Carol's just all over the place.
And this is Carol. This is Carol's personality. We see Carol caroling. She's being herself.
She said, that rat. Child, is it just me, or were you guys worried she was going to put that rat in the soup? I was so grossed out. That's what I was wondering too. I'm like, that's why I was like, why does she need it so bad? But then when it came,
I think she just tried to get it out of there.
Okay, she just wanted it gone.
She wanted just to get it out of there because that's what Jerry said, that they lost some food because the rat got into it.
Jerry was such a bright spot in this episode. He is so dang adorable, and he truly cares about those around him. I love one of those hugs from him. Y'all know he gives good hugs. Yeah,
and I like the bond that Jerry has with the king. He's still quoting his lines, what the king would say, what he would do. I mean, Jerry is the bomb friend.
Yeah, he is.
He's a friend that's a friend even when you're not around.
You're not around, right. Honestly, when Carol first came up and started talking to Jerry, I thought he was kind of like shading her. Like, I thought he didn't want to fuck with her. I was like, oh, he don't fuck with her anymore because her and the king broke up. But then later on when he comes and checks on her, like saying like, hey, do you need anything or whatever, I was like, oh, maybe I just was feeling a different vibe because I thought he wasn't fucking with her at first.
The vibe I got was, I'm busy right now.
Okay.
Don't you see that I'm working?
Okay.
Like, what do you mean? What do I need?
Right.
It's like he tried to be nice about it, but we saw he was working, trying to get whatever he was getting done. And she came like, hey, can I do, what can I do for you? Do you need anything? And like, Yeah, go. It seems like he just sent her on a dummy mission.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have any power, so you're not going to be able to cook, but I am hungry.
Right.
So go through this to get out of my way.
The performances were another bright spot in this episode. It isn't the actors' fault that the writers failed them by creating a subpar, pointless episode. They did well with what they had. You could tell how useless Carol felt, and you could feel her desperation and slight unraveling throughout the episode. You could see Daryl warring with himself over how to interact with Carol. Norman Reedus' body language before they split up effectively communicated he softened his stance since their argument in Old Girl's cabin, and that he had time to think when he and Carol separated at the beginning of the episode, but he was still reluctant to fully let her in when he got back home. Cooper Andrews did a lovely job of showing the intensifying growth of Jerry's concern for Carol each time they interacted.
Yeah. And, going back to Carol, feeling like, it's just needing something to do. I think we've seen this for a couple of episodes now. That's the reason she went with Daryl in the first place.
Right.
She was around the Alexandria or wherever, and it was like, hey, there's nothing for me here. Can I come with you? I mean, she wanted to feel wanted. She wanted something to do. And, I think we're going to see her like this for a while.
Yeah, until something comes. Maybe she might get back into her Carol badass when the Reapers come next season, the final season. So, yeah. All right, she goes, the last thing I appreciate about the episode and this entire bonus process is that they're actually showing us the aftermath of the conflict, the process of cleaning up and rebuilding Alexandria. Every other time something has happened there, the wolves, the first battle with the saviors, the large horde the night Carl was shot, they are pretty much cleaned up or close to being cleaned up by the next episode. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We're still seeing the damage that the Whisperers did. Yeah.
And it's doing damage on us.
Right. She's like, this is really all I have. The episode was boring. I did my grocery list by watching and kind of depressing. Yes, that's why I'm like, that's why I didn't want to watch again. I was like, this is depressing. It was the first of the bonus episodes that I truly did not enjoy. It felt very season 8 to me. A lot of wheel spinning. I caught the preview for next week, and it is a long-awaited, by some, not by me, Negan episode. And she has some stuff here, but I don't want to talk about the Negan part, just in case people want to be surprised, just in case they haven't really seen much of the trailers. But it is a Negan-focused episode. But honestly, normally, maybe 2 weeks ago, I would have been excited to see the Negan trailer and get excited for that. But when I watched it, I was just like, I'm just so done. Let's just hurry up. Because this episode put a bad taste in my mouth, honestly. So right now, I'm not like excited for the Negan episode. I think I would have been 2 weeks ago.
But like we said already, this episode wasn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're going to get a Daryl and Carol. So they didn't really need to show us this episode. They could have just stuck with the juice, the meat. This should have been a Negan episode. And they probably should have had this episode afterwards. After the Negan episode to kind of bring us back down. Because, whatever happens on the Negan episode is going to be exciting.
Right.
We're going to need a little cleanse after that. So this should have been an episode after. If they wanted to put it in here somewhere.
But they could have ended with this. Imagine if they ended it with this until, I think I saw, she mentions trailer for season 11. Only thing I really saw for season 11, or at least what I can remember right now, is just saying like summer 2021 season 11. I thought it was said summer. I don't know. But, because she mentions here about the season 11 trailers and it's kind of creepy, and I'd rather not say too much of what she saw because I didn't even see that yet. But, she said it sort of looks creepy, but, and then she goes, that's it. I'm done. Do better, Walking Dead. Yeah, but thank you, Chantel, for writing in. First of all, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. But they should have switched up some orders around here.
Yeah, like they could have gave this early. Like I would have rather they ended on one more. The episode when they killed Maze. I'd rather have them ended on that episode versus like even this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe put this in front of the Princess episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because it would have been,
yeah.
Or just not have done it.
Yeah,
they could have did what Chantel wrote.
Yeah.
Like, that was such a good story. What she just wrote. That could have been really good. All right, so most likely to die in I Ain't Fearing Shit. Gary, who do you got for I Ain't Fearing Shit?
I don't have anything for either. I have nothing for neither one of those right now. I don't know what we're gonna get next episode, and this episode we didn't have enough to go off of. I Ain't Fearing Shit. That rat. Let's say the rat wasn't fearing shit, or dog. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to skip both of them. Most likely to die. I don't think we're gonna get any deaths this season. Like Chantel said, this is basically the aftermath, the cleanup.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, I was with you when you were talking. I was thinking, yeah, I don't really have much either. But if I had to give I Ain't Fearing Shit, it'd be the writers of The Walking Dead, because they really aren't fearing. They don't care if we like it. They ain't fearing shit. They're like, we're going to put whatever we want to put out here, and y'all just going to have to watch it. And then most likely to die, based on it being Negan's storyline, I don't want to give spoilers just in case people know, but I feel like someone is going to die, you know, in his
backstory.
So just leave it at that.
Okay, that's what it is, a backstory.
Yeah, it's a backstory.
Okay.
And like the evolution, like how Negan came to be.
Now that's a story.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, right now I'm just not even excited, but we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure by Sunday night we see Negan and everything like that, and his real life wife plays his wife on the show, so that's kind of interesting. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, until next week, we hope to have a lot more. I hope to even have an instant cast Sunday night. It'd be nice to be excited and talk about it. So we'll see, and thank you so much, Chantel.
I'm pretty sure we are. We're going to have it.
For writing in, because I know it's tough.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, until then, I'm Nicole.
I'm Gary.
Bye.